think that when you were so fortunate, you had so much money, you had everything you wanted, you had a beautiful family, why do you think that you felt so unhappy then?
Because happiness is not found in any of those. Okay?
Mm.
Happiness is a very simple formula. Any moment in your life where you felt happy was a moment where the events of your life matched your expectations of how life should be. Okay? It's as simple as that. Life, can give you rain, and we have no idea if rain is going to make you happy or unhappy, right? If you want to water your plants, rain is going to make you happy. If you want to suntan, rain is going to make you unhappy, right?
Mm.
Life can give you a lockdown, and we have no idea if that's going to make you happy or unhappy. If you're an introvert and you've been really trying to stay at home for a while, you're going to be dancing. Hmm? And it's really as simple as that. And it changes from person to person, changes from situation to situation. So some days you will love being locked down, and other days you will hate being locked down. It's based on what you want that day.
Mm.
Okay. So the truth is, nothing will ever make you happy unless it's what you expect life to give you. Happiness is that feeling of contentment. Okay. And the most interesting side of happiness is not the state that you acquire. Okay. Happiness is the baseline that gets disrupted with unhappiness. Let me explain that. It's really
Mm.
important. Every child you've ever met, if they're given their basic needs for survival, if they're loved, safe, fed, and so on, warm, and so on, their state is happy. The default setting of humans is happy. Okay, just like the default setting of humans is healthy, right? Then things come into your body, germs or whatever, and that makes you unhealthy. That's the interruption. It's not the base. The base is happy. The base is healthy. Now, for us, what happens is that unhappiness comes to us when the events miss our expectations.
Mm.
When your brain does a calculation and goes like, who's this guy? He's wearing a blue t-shirt. He's bald. Is this going to be the waste of my time? Your brain thinks that way, and you get that little feeling of anxiety, and you go like, this is a waste of my time. You feel a little unhappy. Okay. Then, I don't know, I say something, you like it, you go like, that's interesting. That's not a waste of my time. I'm happy. It meets my expectations. Right. This toggle between events meet my expectations, miss my expectations, believe it or not, is just a survival mechanism. It's our brains telling us, hey, by the way, something here needs your attention. Okay. If you're going to spend an hour listening to this podcast, it seems it's going to be a waste of your hour. Maybe you shouldn't. Okay. Or if you're going to spend an hour listening to this podcast, it's actually a very good use of your time. I encourage you to do that. Now,
Mm.
those two emotions are very different in every possible way, including the hormonal makeup of our body when they occur. The challenge with our life today is that emotion, contentment, peaceful feeling of I'm okay with life as it is, called happiness, has been replaced in the modern world with another emotion that's called fun and pleasure and elation and excitement. Okay. Why? Because these are products, Coca-Cola and the club around the door and the video game maker and all of the movie makers. They can sell you this. They cannot sell you contentment. Contentment is the opposite of capitalism. Okay. Contentment is, I actually don't want the iPhone 10. I'm very happy with my iPhone 6. It's still working well. Right. So that feeling of contentment, I'm okay with life as it is not good for capitalism. So we fight it with advertising, with messages, with conviction that weapons of mass distraction, as I call them, are better than happiness. Okay. That it's better for me to go out there and go on a vacation and buy a car and go to a party and do all of that stuff than it is to sit with myself and be calm and content. Now, the makeup of us, as I said, the hormonal makeup is actually very different. So when we are chasing fun and excitement and wealth and success and promotions and all of that, what do we get in our bodies? We get dopamine.
Mm.
Okay. Dopamine is a reward hormone that basically is telling your body, get more of this. We want more of this. Chase it, chase it. Okay. And as you chase it, your receptors, your dopamine receptors in your brain are down regulating because of the amount of dopamine in your brain, in your blood. Okay. So they're basically saying, no, hold on. We had this many milligrams. That's not enough. Now we need double that to feel excited. And so this is what happens to us. We go from, a nice little jog on the beach to hikes that go up the Mount Everest, to jumping out of airplanes. We're just constantly looking for more and more and more reward, right? The problem is happiness, on the other hand, as I define it, events meeting expectations, I'm okay with life as it is, gets serotonin, which is a calmer. The serotonin is basically saying, okay, life seems to be okay now. I need to rest, restore, digest my food, reflect, organize my thinking. And for that, I'm going to give you serotonin, which basically says, stay exactly as you are. Don't do anything. Okay? When you get dopamine in your blood, serotonin by definition goes away. You can't have a calmer stay when you have the excitatory of dopamine. And so when we get so addicted to fun, to pleasure, to acquisition, to gifts, to rewards, to achievements, it becomes almost impossible to find contentment, which is what real happiness is, because that is what we're constantly seeking now. We can't replace it with serotonin because there is no more serotonin to be found. Okay. Now, that is not unusual. I've, since I wrote Soul for Happy, I've trained hundreds of thousands of people, including some billionaires, right? And I would say 90% of them are miserable.